In the spirit of Halloween, I had to break out the glow-in-the-dark shoes. These shoes had their very own section in the ShoeZeum. And when I was putting the ShoeZeum together, I was sort of struggling with how I would bring attention to these really cool shoes. Because remember, they're in the middle of a museum that's very well lit. So the first thing that I did was go to Party City, and I bought a bunch of these little glow-in-the-dark sticks. And I did this well after Halloween, so these things weren't that readily available. But I thought if I scattered these things all over the dunks, it would really bring attention to the fact that they glowed in the dark. All of these shoes were on display with black lights. Here, I'll turn those on. And you can see how the shoes really start to light up. But I had to build something up on top that would create shade so that these shoes were in the dark. Because as you'll see, when it gets dark in here, they really start to glow. So check them out, and it's amazing how these black lights actually sort of charge up the shoes. So as you hold the black light over the shoes, they glow more and more. This one's kind of janky. Remember that I bought most of the toys and props for the ShoeZeum at the swap meet, so it's not really a surprise that this thing is kind of broken. I bought all of these black lights for $5. And it's amazing because I know that these black lights had a huge influence on the people over at Nike. Because for 3 months, they were sending executives and sneaker designers to the ShoeZeum for inspiration. And imagine, out of 2,500 pairs of shoes, there's these glowing Dunks, Blazers, Air Max 90s, Vandals. I've got the Blazers over here as well because they're one of my favorites, so I might as well break it out while I'm talking about them. But these shoes are glowing out of 2,500 pairs of shoes, and I know it really got their attention. Because this year, Nike's done more with glowing shoes and black lights than they've ever done before. Of course, I know that you know I'm talking about the Doernbecher 5s. Here's one of them right over here. Beautiful shoe. You can see that it glows in the black light. These shoes are selling for about $1,500 right now. And it's not even as rare or as valuable as the 2 of 2 laser Mark Smith Dunk Highs that also glow in the dark. They commemorate the 10-year anniversary of the Doernbecher line. But those Doernbecher 5s are not the only shoe that glows in the dark from this year. We just got a whole pack of shoes, 3 for men and 3 for women. The Air Max 1, 90, and 95 came out for men. I just got back from Beaverton, and when I was at the employee store, I was able to find a pair of these Air Max 1s. They're the tape edition, and they glow in the dark. As they sit and charge up, they sort of reveal a zebra-like print. They're very cool. And I also was able to get my hands on a pair of these Air Max 90s, also the premium tape edition. They also glow in the dark. And the same thing, they have sort of a glow-in-the-dark zebra print as they charge up. The outlet store, or rather the employee store, didn't have the Air Max 95s, and I've been reluctant to pick them up because one of the main rules that I go by when I'm collecting shoes is, if I had to sell it, could I make money off of it? And I just can't get those Air Max 95s for a cheap enough price that I knew that if I needed to flip them, I could get my money back. Of course, since I bought these at the employee store, they were half price. They were about $50 each, and so I scooped them right up. They're very, very cool. The 95s are also cool. The 3 pairs of runners for women's are cool. And don't be surprised if you see a whole lot more glow-in-the-dark shoes coming up. I'm kind of surprised that Nike didn't release any Halloween-specific shoes this year. It would have been really cool if they had glow-in-the-dark Kobe's, LeBron's, Kevin Durant's, foam posits. Who knows? Don't be surprised if there's more glow-in-the-dark shoes coming soon.